Well, in this case, are you asking about children's books or books in general?
Books in general.
Well, I was an English major and an English professor at UC. Also, I married to book writers. And so, I started writing a biography of my father when my mother asked me to. So after I wrote that biography, it was published, others began to ask me to write their biographies or to edit their biographies or life stories. A life story is a story, a biography and a story of one's life. And so after I acquired that, took a reputation for being a good writer of biographies. I also wrote for newspapers. I wrote for magazines like Women's Home Companion and Ventura1 and Ventura1. I wrote regular columns, and I wrote about things that I felt interested in. Then I was asked to write about you asked me about Carabao Cultural Grade. Then someone who had just arrived in the States and was planning to put up a publishing house here and books for children asked me to write, first of all, the lives of certain prominent Filipinos for children. One was Sylvia, that's the first one. Then I also wrote about karlcrisostomo-Sylvia. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, probably not. They haven't heard of anything. Well, karlcrisostomo-Sylvia was a very well-known diplomat. And also, he was called General karlcrisostomo-Sylvia. He was prominent during the Second World War. I also wrote a life story of ninocabalona and another one. Anyway, I wrote 4 books about prominent Filipinos for children ages 8 to 12. Then I was also asked to write 3 biographies for high school readers. The life story of, again, Jose Rizal, but for high school, and Andres Bonifacio. These are, they're not for sale in national books, but I have to go to the publisher in order to get copies of my own books. And they are more sophisticated with this life story of Jose Rizal, the life story of Bonifacio. They're more sophisticated than the earlier books that I wrote for children ages 8 to 12. And then after that, or even before that, I was asked to write by the same publisher, Tahanan Books for Children. They asked me to write animal stories for modern readers, folk tales from the Philippines, and myths and legends about, let's say, earth tales. They're about, let's say, the origins of certain mountains, or volcanoes, things like that. So I had to do some reading. That's how I happened to become
Okay.
and I still write after that.
So, basically, what's your inspiration for writing?
What is my inspiration? Well, what motivates me? I just love literature, and I have taught courses on writing biographies and autobiographies. Famous people like, English poets or American writers, reading about those famous persons has inspired me to write about our own famous persons.
In your experience as an author, what is the biggest challenge in being a writer?
The biggest challenge? Well, in the case of writing for adults, the biggest challenge is, of course, having to do research if I'm writing about actual people. And like you, also interviewing people concerned, and then setting my thoughts down on paper. In the old days, I used a typewriter, and I even developed what they call carpal syndrome. Have you ever heard that? It's the carpal tunnel here, this. And pounding on the typewriter, I have to remember what it's called, but I haven't used a typewriter for so many years. But I wrote so much that I developed that carpal tunnel syndrome. And so then the computer was invented. Then I was able to multiply my production of written words. Because everybody knows how to use a computer, except some professional writers I know, and they just cannot learn it. I can't understand. How can anybody not know how to use computer when one is a writer, a professional writer? I try to convince them, it's so easy. You can learn it hands-on. You don't even have to take a course. You can multiply copies very easily. You can transfer the paragraphs of you to them. You know what I mean. And then continuing your discussion, you asked me what the challenges are. In the case of writing for children, the challenge is in toning down the language so that it is within the comprehension of the age level I'm writing for. So it's not easy. It has to be I have to read over and over again to make sure that the vocabulary that I'm using is within the reach of those children. Other challenges. How to make the work interesting,